Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming. I'm bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out In Rays of the Light. This game was developed by Sergei Noskov and published by Sometimes You and releases on March 17th, 2021. We don't quite have a price yet for the game, but we wanted to showcase a little bit of the game off. Now, please note, you're not going to see too much aside from me just walking around and through the area because this game is a kind of evolving story game where you need to figure out what to do in your own sense. It's played out over 8 different chapters and has a couple different ending options that you can kind of uncover. I'm just going to load the game up, let you kind of see a little bit of what the visuals and graphics look like. When you very first start out in the game, I'm going to highly recommend you adjust a little bit of the settings as far as like sensitivity. But for the most part, you're just going to be walking around and exploring the areas as you discover new things. The whole purpose of the game is to stay out of the light, because the light will ultimately hurt you, but you do have to go inside and outside for periodic quests as you explore through the game. For the most part, this game feels like a visual show-off for just art styles and creativity. There's not a whole lot of story here. You're mostly just going to be exploring abandoned rooms, the basement levels, going into a couple neighboring buildings that you're going to see throughout the game, as well as picking up and collecting different items. There's a ton of different collectibles that you will experience throughout the game and different little pickups that you use to complete various tasks, but for the most part, you're just going to be walking around and exploring. You're not going to do too many challenging things. I wouldn't say this is a hard game to complete by any means. I think even with a walkthrough guide, you can do this game in under an hour easily. There's plenty of them out there, so we're probably not going to upload one on our channel just because there's so many by now. But you can kind of see you're exploring what looks like either a maybe British style school or maybe like an old hospital, insane asylum type thing. To be honest, the game doesn't really tell you too much, but there's also a sense of a nuclear bomb kind of going off in some later animations in the game that kind of hint that maybe this is them testing, maybe the effects of nuclear explosions on people, but nonetheless, it's not something that we really get the whole full story of because the game tells its story in a very unique way. Overall, the game is very easy to pick up and play. You simply just use your analog sticks and you're just exploring and looking for what to do. Visually, I think the graphics are decent for the game. I think it's a one-man dev, so, for what he did, it's a pretty good game. It shows off his skills and abilities, but there's nothing that's going to be, like, overbearing, especially if you look at, like, the details of the character's hands. It definitely throws off the feel of the game when you get a kind of cartoony hand in a realistic environment. The soundtrack really immerses you into the environment, so it does that pretty well. Not quite knowing the price for the game, it's hard to impact too much, in my opinion, but with how short the game is, I'm honestly going to rate the game about a 5 out of 10. There's not a whole lot to do here. There's no real interactions outside of just exploring and hunting for things, and a lot of the times you have to figure out really what you're doing in your own. I think when I first picked up this game, I spent about an hour just walking around outside because I had absolutely no idea what to do. I had to reach out to some friends and ask, like, hey, how do you play this game? I can't figure this out. But outside of that, if you guys do want to pick up the game, you will be able to search it up in the Xbox store. We don't have a link down in the description of the video because there's not one available currently. We'll try to update that one as it gets closer. But if you have any questions about the game, want to know more, let us know down in the comments. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you guys next time.